ya mom lile may sa tënd joro ya mom lile ni woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane ni woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane buri sambalobe ya mom lile buri sambalobe ya mom lile buri sambalobe ya mom lile ne woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane tamel may sa tënd joro ho ho sama waaji tënd jam naane woy Birima fu mu yendu ma yendu fa yendoo naane Limone mano besamba Kuli macha sengilap Biram gamo Ngone macha nyas Mbay macha jeri Samba yasino
Beautiful song there from Yusul Indu, music recorded in 2000. And it's music titled Birima. And something interesting just happened in the studios of Love 99.5. All right, so Leo, good morning to you one more time.
Good morning.
And Eugene on 82 is right here with us as well. We're going to have a very open, honest, candid conversation. But Eugene, you want to talk about Birima? What's the meaning of Birima?
Yeah, David. So, David, the song is basically about hospitality, and it talks about a king. I think I watched this. Oh, Chaladi So, David, it's the Birima is actually referring to a king who was trying to bring together his people, and he was quite hospitable, and it was quite novel in those times because kings were revered and they were almost like distant from the community. But this king tried to forge a new relationship between the royalty and the common people. So how he opened the palace to people and all that, and that is what Indo is basically singing about.
It's just like the Ghanaian, where people always say that we are very hospitable people. Yeah. So Leo, let me ask this question: When you were in junior high or senior high, at the time you were not working, did your mother ever ask you for money?
No.
Your mother never did?
I never experienced
How about you, Eugene? Did your mama ask you for, let's say, some 1 cedi, some 2 cedi, some 5 cedis at any point in time?
No, she only asked when maybe the previous day he sent you to buy something. Then on him sense
balance or maybe an uncle had come to visit, and an uncle or auntie had dropped something.
That one, yeah.
Did you ever get it?
Oh, for me, I kept mine. Only along the line, mommy would come and say, "Oh, Charlie, because they use that to teach us the habit of saving.
Yeah.
So they never took it from us, but they will make sure that you saved it. But to get to a point in time where daddy or mommy will come and ask you how much you've been able to save. All right. Now I ask this question of the two of you because I have not like somebody saying it. I have witnessed a situation where a mother would ask a daughter of hers, and she knows the daughter does not work. Now, and then she'll mention, and let's say, if you're not only 5 cities, come and pay 5 cities, but if your doesn't work, if you're just a teenager, maybe 12 years, maybe 11 years, and then you're asking her for 5 cities, now let's fill our listeners in as to why we
and when she's able to produce the 5 cities, do they ask where she got the money from?
So after allegedly stealing huge sums of money, including foreign currency worth millions from her employer, And of course, for information, the employer has now resigned her position. An 18-year-old girl is alleged to have spent lavishly, including giving 50,000 Ghana cedis to the father. No, well, she gave $1 million, to the ex-boyfriend, broadcast for the current boyfriend, and that's not my interest or our interest. Our interest is in the father receiving the 50,000 Ghana cedis from your 18-year-old, knowing the kind of job she does as a house help. And you accepting this money is where our concern is. But we're not going to talk about, this lady, the butcher lady, because the matter is in court. But we want to broaden the conversation. Now, it raises concerns about parents accepting gifts from their children, especially their teenage children. Some parents accept expensive gifts, including huge sums of money, sometimes even cars, and some personal items from their children without asking how they came by it all, although they know that their children cannot afford it. And that's what is happening now there. So, your child, it doesn't work. Your child is using some iPhone, something. You are using a yam. Now, you don't even bother to ask how he or she came by that phone that she's using, that expensive phone. Most parents, or some parents, let me put it that way, some parents don't bother to ask. So, what do you make of the behavior of such parents? Parents who will willingly, gladly accept sums of monies from their teenage children whom they know cannot afford it, accept gifts like cars and other personal items from their children without asking questions. What kind of a society are we building, when we allow these things to fester? If you know of experiences or you've seen instances, we're not asking you to tell us the names. Tell us about the stories. Tell us about instances where parents have received, either cash or gifts from their teenage children, or even children of theirs whom are not working, or who even are working but cannot afford it, and yet they accept these gifts from their children. How does that make you feel? Listen, our WhatsApp number, like we always tell you, is 055 11 995. That's our WhatsApp number. It's 055 11 995. Share your thoughts with us as to what to make of this. And what should be the limit anyway? Even if parents should accept such things from their children, should there be a limit, or they should not even accept it at all? Now, Leo, you grew up in an area where I'd say had a lot of people live in, let's say, compound, houses. I don't want to mention the name of the area. How common would you say this thing is, where parents would ask or will accept gladly and willingly gifts from their children? Children they know are not working, or even if they are working, cannot afford these things. Any experiences to share?
Yeah, a lot. It's quite common among the girls, among the boys. With the girls, for instance, they are the ones who go out and then come and drop something on the table for their moms.
When you say go out doing what?
Who knows? That's the big question. And it's not like they are employed or anything. So it's not uncommon to see a teenager, let's say 16, 17-year-old, running around, being picked up by some private car, going somewhere and coming back to drop them. And the parents will not ask any questions. Is that your boyfriend? Is that your whoever it is? They don't ask any questions. And sometimes they know. And even it goes to a point where even some of these mothers will even, encourage or lead their children on, because when they go, akrabafi.
But the point again is, yesterday when the three of us were having a conversation, one of the things you mentioned was
the young man. Yeah.
No, not about a young man. We're talking about the young man in the bed, but we're talking about girls who themselves are willing to give themselves to people of foreign nationals, or even Ghanaians, for money.
Yeah.
And they are more than willing, 15, 16, 17, are more than willing to even introduce their friends. To the same group of people.
Yes.
And get their monies and take it back home. Why would a parent, knowing that your 15, 16-year-old child does not work, or even if it's learning a trade or something, cannot afford certain things, why do parents look unconcerned?
I think it all boils down to poverty. Some of these parents of these children, they got close next to nothing. How to put food on the table, they are not working. Even if they are working, there's some module business they are doing in front of their house. Nothing is really going on for them. So their children becomes the
Breadwinners.
Yeah, the breadwinners. And whatever means, whatever way they go out there to get the money is not questioned.
And again, yesterday you talked about a guy who's bought a car.
Yeah,
A guy who's bought a car, and everybody knows in the community that this guy doesn't do any kind of
so he's a fraud boy.
Legitimate job.
Yeah, he's a fraud boy. Everybody knows. I mean, these things are not secret when it cocomes to these areas, Bantamash, now all these places. And he bought, a nice Sonata. And the beautiful thing is, every Sunday or sometimes when the mother is going somewhere, that beautiful family setting, or the Nimia girl to school and all those things, and
going to a church.
Yeah.
So this guy is into fraud.
Yeah.
Which of course is wrong.
Yeah.
And then the irony of it, then Sunday come and pick your mom in that fraudulent acquired vehicle, and they take the person to church.
So and they were living right opposite me. So every time I saw it, I was like, well, I don't care. It's their family, but is the mother questioning how the son is?
But is it to suggest to know that to say that the mother doesn't know what the guy is into?
That is the question. That is what she knows. If she knows, then it's
because even
really
if she doesn't know, people in the community, people in the area will talk.
Yeah, because me, as old as I am, there was a time that I did some Jigogo with some friends, and then some money came, and then I think the friend gave me about 10,000 cedis. When I took the money, I gave some to my mom. I gave her about 2,000, and then she started questioning me. So when you're scanning away in a green, I'm saying, hey, when you got nothing,
you talk to mother like that.
I mean, we have that relationship.
I understand, but she wanted to know where you got.
She wanted to know, as old as I am.
Did you tell her?
I told her. I didn't tell her. I don't.
Did she still accept the money?
She accepted it, but she understood that it wasn't from any wrong source.
It wasn't from any wrong source.
But then when she saw it, she was concerned enough to try and know where I got that money from. Because at that time I wasn't working. So where did you get the money from?
No, David. You see, Leo's mother was concerned. That is one. She may not have proved further, but she showed concern,
which of course is good.
Which is good. But David, you cannot tell me that you have a son who is at the polytechnic, who not paying school fees. Then he comes home, he's using a car, and you are telling me you don't know he's into something. No, David, you see, people fringe ignorance and allow these things to fester. David, when you are working, at most every job you have even journalists, you have a 5-year journalist. In Ghana, you all know the average salary 2,000, 3,000. Don't you know? We know national service. Ekufuado Adaroma, and the 28% account now it's 715. It was 559. So if Kate, and I'm using Kate for example, Kate is one of our social media executives. She's a national service personnel. She does other goes, but her per salary we all know.
Which of course is not even regular.
It's not regular. It's 555. They don't even get the 559. It's 555. Kate comes home and uses my iPhone 11 some. This phone is about, Kate, get the price for me. It's about 4,000, 5,000. David, the 555 means that you have to complete the entire 1 year of national service to accrue 6,000.
Without spending a CD of that money.
So when you are starting the service, you are using any other brand. These normal Android brands that are less. I don't want to mention the brand's name to promote them. That are lesser. You all know the brands, the TTs and all that, the eyes and all that, right? Now you use an iPhone which is costing 5,000. Nema me cry because they be me portrait back. David, you know these things. The mother will ask the daughter to come and take portrait pictures of her.
Let me throw in this question: If a parent, and mostly it's the mothers who accept these things. So I was surprised when I realized that Botwe gave 50,000 Ghana cedis to the father. I don't know whether the father queried her and asked her how she came by the money, because as a father, you know what job your child does. I don't know whether he queried her and maybe she said, well, the minister gave it to her as a gift. And again, I'm speaking hypothetically here.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying or concluding on anything. I'm just thinking aloud here. Should the concern be just giving out the cash or the personal items, or should be on the amount of what is being given?
David, let me use my madam Amia Kuya Nim Papa Kufia Champo. I'll give my father. Now, when I even started multimedia, my dad didn't know my salary, right? So one time, I think his birthday last year. My dad has always wanted this kaftan. So you know what I did? I bought some wooden fabrics and then I sent to him. So my kid brother, we are 6. My kid brother took delivery of the thing at the station and took it to him. Oh, my father normally will call you. So apparently I called my brother that. I was giving the thing to my dad and I was like, what's what again?
Thinking about what?
Yes, I didn't understand. You know, your 60th bed, I was an old dream once. I didn't call me. I mean, it was weird. And this happened just last year, November. My dad's birthday, 16th November. Yes, and I was like, to it, like basically, do they pay you really well? Because I know you're now starting and all
So
that.
to his mind, what you sold for him, the kaftan is expensive.
Yes.
And he was wondering whether your salary would
matches. And beyond that, he knows I rent in Kumasi, right? So ordinarily I pay rent, I pay utilities, I feed, I go to work, right? And he also knows that by that time, petitions about. So he questioned how to explain. Though he doesn't know my side, something that is with me is not anything bad, but I had to convince him, for him to be convinced to wear that on the Sunday of his birthday. So David, I'm not a father, but David, even me, my friend, if I know the work you do, you and I, let's say you are my colleague at Multimedia, then I need a loan so that you're able to give me 50,000. Charlie,
so
it must break something in me.
So
what are you doing that? I'm not doing that.
The question is, why don't parents? I mean, you talked about your 10,000 Ghana cedis thing. You give out 2,000 to your mom. She fiercely asked you how you came by the money. Mm-hmm. You said you gave a kaftan to your dad through your brother who picked it up at the station. You have not heard from your dad to say, oh, acknowledging receipt or saying thank you. So you tried to pry, and then you told that what? He says he's thinking about whether his son could afford the kaftan and all that. Why is it that in this day and age, in our setting, many, I'm not saying all, many parents will not ask questions as to where this one is coming from? And listeners, in case you just tuned in, this is Love in the Morning. It's on Love 99.5. Now we know that an 18-year-old, and she's only 18 years, and she, was a house girl to a former minister of this country. The minister we know has resigned. All right, and we're talking about
Madame Dapa.
Yeah, Cecilia Dapa. Now, this girl, we are told, allegedly steals so much money: 350,000, Ghana cedis, 300,000 euros, $1 million. Gave $1 million Ghana cedis to her ex-boyfriend. The boy challenge the boy not on the power, no. But where our interest lie is in the father. She gave the father 50,000 Ghana cedis. Your daughter is only 18. She is a house help. As a house help, how much is she paid? And she gives you 50,000.
No question.
And I'm sure you know that she might have bought a house, rented an apartment, furnished. I know maybe the father knows, and you never queried or questioned. I'm just thinking aloud. If the father did, I applaud him. But we are broadening the conversation and saying that, unfortunately, in many homes, where some of these things emanate, parents or some parents do not ask questions. And I'm asking why.
David, the father didn't ask. You know why I know?
Tell me.
How was the lady or the heist uncovered? It was because
she was stealing some more, and then the husband of Dapa,
exactly. They had a master bedroom. I've gone out, so let's use our studio. We know that this particular studio is locked. Our programs manager is the only person have access. Apuzo goes to town, go and eat, come back. You notice that the door is a bit open.
It's a duplicate key.
Yes. So he goes there, he sees a key. This key is usually so how come a key? So meaning that they've created a duplicate key. He enters, sees somebody hiding behind the door, discovers that the house. Then he pricks him that, let me check, maybe something on top that's up there. That's how they identified. Now, as we said, the matter is in court, so we know understand the pros and cons. But if the father, having received the 50,000, have matched the daughter to the minister's house. My best was here, Brunya Dini. I'm part. Did you give the money to me? No, I'm coming. I'm saying that you're giving me 50,000. I'm based on a hypothesis that she may have said that it's a gift to her, maybe a parting gift or something. Matching her to then the house would have been discovered much earlier. Now, David, let me give you another instance. When I came to KNUST 2014, I had a girlfriend. She's called Vanessa. Then she gifted me this kaftan. So apparently it was then I discovered what my mom was
You
doing.
used to have family of kaftans. I don't know. You go.
No, but that one was not the latest kaftan that I.
It's not a kaftan, but you go ahead.
A shirt kind of. So apparently that incident made me realize what my mom was doing all along. I had gone on vacation. I think even in second year, not first year, because I was off campus. I had gone to the house. Then I came home, I'm here to near like my bag and everything. Shirt, where did you get this shirt from? Where did you get this from? So apparently my mom was tracking my clothes and bag and shoes and asked you everything. But David, you ask why parents are not doing that. Why they are not doing that for me? The first thing is poverty.
Well, Sammy Dubachi is listening to us. So, Sammy, good morning to you and thanks for tuning in. Yes, sir.
David, poverty. Poverty. See, David, sometimes poverty makes, because I've also seen some parents do certain things because Nebani was casino.
Yeah.
Prepaid and everything. So, like, you see,
you have a daughter who is not working. She comes back home and she's wearing 1,500 CD Brazilian hair.
Yes.
Wearing high heels and
this is not new. We know of situations where there are girls who are supposed to be in the university. When they're leaving home, they wear, modest dressing because that's what the parents, can afford. But they go to school and they have a certain lifestyle. Where on campus, some of them own cars on campus, but when there's a vacation, they leave their cars on campus and go back home.
Yeah.
There's some clothing they don't even take back home. They leave those same clothing either at the hostel or at home. I'm happy with what your mom did. In your absence, she went to your room, went into your suitcase, was trying to ascertain for herself what my son has. I didn't buy this for him. I didn't buy that for him. Where from this? That's a good mother. But in this setting that we are in right now, even if a mother should even want to do this, I'm sure that some of the sons and daughters would rain insults. Would rain insults. But the question is, at least you have been a responsible parent.
Now, David, another thing that, and I always make this example when we discuss family, David, the breakdown of the standard family system. David, and Ghana, and pardon me, it's not like I don't speak English, that I just want to blend. David, Obinti Obibao. Once I cry, the person is just misbehaving. But you can't question the child. You are afraid. The mother will attack you. Oh, so David don't walk around. No, bonini na the way they will, so now people feel like so people even see children behaving in a certain irresponsible, a certain indisciplined manner. They can't go and report.
And aside from the home and the extended family you mentioned, I would even want to take it from the church's perspective as well.
Yeah.
Even in the church, you know that somebody is not doing something legitimate, something genuine. Rumors will be around. Do pastors call and say, "Hey, Matisse, say who you, and I say who you." They'll rather call you and make you a chairman for an anniversary that is coming up because you are bringing money.
We have heard pastors on social media blessing people, saying, "If you want to do this, do computer fraud, come, I will bless you."
Yes.
What kind of a society are we building?
David, we're building a society where we worship money. We are building a society where, David, the treatment some of us we had from our extended family and all that, it shaped us to a certain extent in life. But now there's too much nuclearization of everything. A mother, son, 3.5 children. The father wakes up. David, look at the time you leave. Your wife also maybe, if not to corporate, she may leave a bit later. But the normal Ghanaian trader, 3:30, as well, no crew market. He has to go and wait for the car coming from the food basket to sell.
How can we change this? How can we change this? Because if we allow it to go on, it's only going to get worse. Now you and I know. I mean, the 15-year-olds are doing all manner of things just to make money. And unfortunately, parents are not being responsible enough to shape the lives and the future of these kids. So when you start doing some of these wrong things at the age of 15, 16, 17, when you become a managing director for an institution or become a minister of state or get some big position, what will happen?
Oh, David, we own your minister. Like 15 years started,
but some of them are good. Hey, some of them are so good. I don't want to mention names here. There are some people that I know what they did before, but they are so intelligent, so smart. They are into politics right now.
They are there because when you change their family tree, and no more than it's because
but still they are there.
I get it, but I'm just saying that it's because someone created a certain path. I'm not a father, but David, for me, what I see is that if we don't bring back some element of the extended family and a community ownership, that's the word I'll use. Community ownership of children and how community models children, you'll be in trouble. David, and even let me even extend it further. Now you go and live in new neighborhoods. Nobody asks you anything. Mm-hmm. You see a gentleman, na draba, wabeda, no ko, akosuya, then he goes. And you see an elderly woman in the house.
What's wrong? For fear
back in the days, it wasn't like that. If you were doing it, you do it with a certain kind of pleasure.
David,
but now it's just
when I'm coming to work 7. Yeah. Then David, these things when we're kids, you know that 2:30. Even the movements and all that, David.
Yeah. I look at these things and I fear for this country.
Yeah.
Because, but to be honest, looking at how tough things are in Ghana right now, how many parents would have what it takes to question this 50,000 that this 18-year-old is giving?
No, David, even beyond the 50,000, do you know what the girl did? He gave, you see, the 18-year girl there, she needs to be studied. She gave the ex-boyfriend
$1 million Ghana cedis.
$1 million Ghana cedis.
For me, that's a boyfriend. I don't have a problem. I'm looking at the father. I'm looking at the father.
You know, for a boyfriend, it's not surprising that they do that.
The ex-boyfriend, $1 million Ghana cedis.
It could also be another 20-year-old who is not that,
who does not care.
Wow. So that one,
the house
parent,
the house she rented, the house she bought, the car she,
and I'm tempted to know,
parents.
And I'm tempted to think that the parents knew exactly what the girl was doing in the house, because it just above normal human thinking for your 18-year-old girl who is a maid servant in the house to be bringing this much amount of money and things like a gift.
But the point again is, the question is, how many parents in this day and age Ghana wedding want to meet your rent? Well, I don't know back to school fees to meet 18-year-old 50,000 Ghana cedis. Also quite a question. How many parents will we put to think? Yesterday I was telling you that you imagine that your father asks for money from you, and then you're not able to give your father the money, and then your father hears you on the phone. Oh, until envelope and drum and they bro you. Then 5,000 a woman called Jaya. When your father is looking for 500 cedis, you think your father overhears the conversation and he comes as a Kwame. And me pay 500 we 5,000. I mean, in this day and age, the kind of system we are running, the difficulty in the system. How many parents?
Yeah. They will even encourage them to go and bring more.
The money anyway.
David, I really like to hear the perspective of someone like Uncle Joe. I don't know if he's listening.
Uncle George, okay.
Kofi, parent. Because David, this thing bothers me. I'm a young man, but sometimes I see how colleague youth are behaving. Mm-hmm. And David, it's scary because it's a channel, and we all say that we are the what?
Future leaders.
Yeah.
The future leaders.
Eugene, let me give you another example. I work with a lot of youth.
Don't forget it. But again, Charlie Bio or thought that you only may so to go. Chess freezers, refrigerators, televisions, maybe inches now TV. But you go on. You work with a lot of youth.
Most of the time, I play around with the youth a lot. And this particular one, he was like a senior Maya from EPA. So one day, I took him to this pub. It was during the Christmas season. And then, I think we've been there for me and Dave. A nice place. People come there and have a good time at around Ahonjo area. Oh, yeah, we've been there. So, people were coming in driving Benzes and, the C300s and all that. And the only question he was asking me was, hey, do we in our Game Boys and and in their mind, anytime they see anybody with flashy cars, the only thing that comes into their mind is fraud.
They're too fraudulent.
Yeah, that is their understanding of success now. That's why I always say, in our days, we were looking at the Alaji Bandas and all these people as, they were the epitome of success. But now it's not. When you speak about success to the next young man or young lady on the street right now, it's Nam1. It's Hash Puppy. It's Hadja for real.
And then the sad thing is, when you parents see these things, instead of chastising your child and say, where did you get it from? Other parents will say, Eugene, team. Yes. We don't really care.
Yes, David. And David, I said David. Another thing is that phrase, look at your mate. David, that thing is pushing a lot of people, wrongful marriages, wrong jobs, criminal activities. Look at your mate. David, David, sometimes too, in as much as the case, I feel that the parents also by their wedding, their phrases and how they even criticize us, pushes some of us into certain things.
No, but
David, you know that you've taken me to the university. Yeah, and I'm a person in your Juma. But if you see David working, David and I completed Legon together, right? But
you don't see David working. You see David driving a Porsche car.
Exactly. So
you don't see David working. Your concern is how come David's driving a Porsche car, my son or daughter is not driving a Porsche car. Whatever David did or is doing to be able to drive, do same. That's all that matters.
But that's problematic.
Problematic for why?
That's problematic.
Listeners, you can join us now on 03-220-83596, 03-220-83597, 03-220-83598. What are your expectations of parents when it comes to receiving gifts from their children or even asking for help, financial help from their children? We're having this conversation, and we know that the matter is in court, so we're being careful. But we're having this conversation because an 18-year-old who is a house help to a former minister was able to give to his father 50,000 Ghana cedis. And we, for me, I'm saying that I'm not concluding, but Eugene says the analysis that he's made in his mind as a partner besides the bad onions can win.
Oh, I mean, you couldn't have 50K.
So why can't parents query their children? We're not necessarily talking about this 18-year-old person. We're generalizing the conversation. Why can't parents query where the wealth of their children is coming from? How come parents will not, expose such children? Is that the right thing to do by keeping quiet? Kofi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave.
Hi, Kofi.
It's interesting the way media in Ghana will always want to divert people's attention from issues that involves persons from NPP fraternity. Okay, this issue that has come, we are investigating. We are blaming the young girl's father for taking money from the child. She is the daughter, and we all know she is working with somebody who has money, who has got this huge amount of money in his room. It means that the woman is a billionaire. And so, if the girl had told the father that this money is a gift from my master, will the father say, no, I will not take? Look, the minister should tell Ghanaians how these monies were kept in her room. That is important. We should not blame any parent for whatever.
Well, thank you very much, Kofi. Those are your thoughts. And interestingly, all of us in the studios do not agree with you, but those are your thoughts. And I don't want to comment on it. You want to comment on it, you can go ahead.
Yes, David. All that we are saying is that, you see, we are not talking about the minister, and nobody is diverting attention.
We talked about the minister. Hold on. We talked about the minister on Monday.
On Tuesday.
We talked about her on Tuesday.
And on Saturday on
But we're looking at this kind of society.
Yes. And David, you see, the fact that I can be a maid to Kwame Despite or Kwesi Chum.
It doesn't mean you pay 100,000.
It doesn't mean that Kwesi Chum will hand over 50,000 to me to give to my father. That's the point you are making. So I can work for even Jesus Christ.
And even if Kwesi Chum would want to give you that amount, and he can afford it and will give you that amount, as a responsible father,
match me to him.
Find out whether your child is telling you the truth or not. Since can say the matter is in court, let me just keep quiet, because I was going to say that if the child is sentenced or something happens right now, would the father be happy? Let's speak to Nana Kweku. Good morning, sir. No, let's speak to Frank, actually. Frank came in through. Okay, Frank, I'm told that we lost you on the line. Frank, if you're listening, call us back. All right, Frank, let's hear from you. We'd like to hear from you. Nana Kweku, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'm going to go through this line. One, education. You see, it says charity begins at home. So the shaping up of a child and a child's brain or mind depends on what goes on in the home. And as well, its environment. Let's ask ourselves now. Back in the days, we used to have cantata, a children's program on our television. We used to have responsible journalists speaking on radio in a responsible way. But right now, what do we see? The shaping up of the child's brain is being brainwashed by even our television. Tune in every channel that you find on the television, and it's either someone is doing Bejiska, for Bejiska. you tune into HTV stations in Ghana, and it's about not programs made in Ghana. It's about some programs portraying some sources of Mexican or something, an Indian thing on our TVs now. Tune into TVs, and then you want to go to social media, and even the guts of journalists, even coming on TV or radio, insult adults. So the moral of the child, right from day one, learning, watching TV is gone, because its environment is shaping him or her not to be what? And insulting, not to respect adults. And the sad thing is that when someone decides that, look, I'm going to get onto this journalist, I'm going to put a journalist online, then the same journalist, some people will come and say, oh, the standard of journalism is going down, press freedom, world citizen, we are coming down, and then we start blaming people. So it's and our own future, the more we do this, we are hurting our own future. It's time that we go back to the roots, the genesis of these issues, and start clearing all those TV stations, clearing all those.
I hear you, Nana Kweku. Thank you very much. And listen, when you come, I'm going to go straight to the point for us, please. Thank you so much, Nana Kweku, for joining us. Justice is on the line, but Justice, hold the line for me first. Let me speak to Ken, who came through before you. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Let's see.
How are you?
Fine, I'm fine.
David, you know what? When I saw the topic on your start, I just asked myself, do we have to discuss this? That was the question I asked myself. But later I convinced myself, and then I'll try to think about it. David, you know, as old as I am, 60 years, I'm not 60, but as old as I am, you know, last year, a friend of mine who is an immigration officer, he came visiting me, and then when we went out, we came home with 2 cars. And do you know, this guy is working, and I'm also working. Do you know when we came home, it's not any Porsche car, just an Opel. Okay. When we came home with this car, my mom called me and asked me where from this car. So you see, charity, they say, begins at home. When we have parents who question us, who ask us where we got this from, you see, it will lead to the fact that when we get position in government, and then authorities to question us where we get our word from. But when we parents or elders at home refuse to do this, these same people, we will grow up, and then when we attain this position, we will steal from the country, and authorities have no right, because that is not how we were brought up. Nobody will question us where we got this from, and it will be the way as it is, and the country as well as it is will collapse, and nobody will do anything about it. So if Kofi should say we should stop or we shouldn't discuss this, but rather think about what is happening, trust me, it will be the same way. Another person will come, and then will be piling up this bunch of money in his or her room, and nobody will question him or her.
I hear you, Ken. Thank you very much, Ken, for joining us. And I think we have Justice on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave.
Welcome, Justice. Let's say, sir.
All right. This is Justice Kilfetti, design side artist. Dave, it's a big problem for us as a nation. And then looking at the way that we were brought out, during the olden days, even it starts from the home. Your mommy, somebody may even just come to even look for your mommy, where the person might even just have 1 or 2 businesses with your mom. Your mommy knows that she owns the person. But when the person is even coming for the money, your mommy will be telling you that, tell her, I'm not around. Why is she running away? We had this so-called Lampo or whatever. People were running away from it. It starts from what? Our parents. And they are the same people giving us this pressure. Why should it be so? The youth, most of them want to work, but they don't have what? The job. And when they get the opportunity, the families will start what? Pushing out pressure, piling up pressure on them. And Dave, I know this one concern the youth. Let me chip in this. There's this so-called tab around Kenyasi Abrim area from SA Junction, St. Teresa Hospital, around that particular. There's this gaming center. And last week or so, this military and then the police people, they come in, they fire some ammunition. They fire left, right, center. It's a game center. The guy operates from 8 a.m. 8 p.m. to the next morning 5 a.m. Is the KMA aware that they are having some games and whatever drugs? They take in all sorts of substances. These are the guys, young guys. They come in with your flashy cars. I know your car, one of your pickup drives around that particular stretch. The military came in 2 a.m. They were firing arms. They were firing left, right, center. People are running heter-scatter.
What we're going to do is we're going to take your number, Justice. We'll get in touch with you and get. Leo said he knows about the place, so we'll pick it up. All right, we'll pick it up. Justice, thank you very much. Emmanuel, good morning, sir. Hi, hello, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Good morning, Emmanuel. Welcome and let's hear you, sir.
No worries. This Kofi Bagima's issue, I think he was not able to articulate it properly. And look at it from this angle. Here is a case. This 18-year-old is a housemaid to a minister. And now, politicians, people know that politicians have money. They have a lot of money. So for an 18-year-old to bring 50,000 to the mother or parent, I mean, there's high expectation that, this is even a chicken change. I mean, we have to face it. The society has accepted, and it is true, that politicians can even take months to make millions of Ghana cedis. So what is 50,000 cedis? So, I mean, look at it from that angle. And that is what I think Kofi Bagima was trying to say, and then he messed up. I mean, he brought NPP in and then destroyed the whole thing. But the point is that this 18-year-old is serving a minister, and politicians can make money.
So are you saying that, as we speak now, we now know that the money was ill-gotten? But the bottom line is, we are saying that as responsible parents, what we need to be doing is that your child, do you know what 50,000 Ghana cedis is?
But my main question is,
if politician house, and what I know is politicians have money.
So if they have money, we should steal from them.
All right, thank you.
A question.
Hello.
Yeah, if they have money, so should we steal from them?
Oh no, I wouldn't even imagine that it was stolen.
But now we've been told that the money was stolen.
That it was given to her.
Well, Emmanuel, thank you.
You live with, for instance.
Emmanuel, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Listen, Yellow Asante Man, Yasanabu, it's been an amazing Ashanti Fest 2023 so far, and we still have more to offer. Asante Man, we are still showing you loads of love and showering you with great offers. Make a date and join us at the finals of the Grand Ashanti Fest Cup. Is it going to be Adreso or Kwadaso who carries the prestigious cup? Now, the cash and, of course, the bragging rights. Come and support your community at the Otumfuo AstroTurf Park, Dichemso, on Sunday, the 30th of July from 2 p.m., whilst we resolve all your customer issues and deliver exceptional service at our Experience Center. So spread the word to your family and friends. Visit our Experiential Center at the Otumfuo AstroTurf Park, Dichemso, for your SIM and Momo registrations and transactions. Just go on and dial *141# to enjoy up to 1 gigabyte extra data when you buy your unique data bundles on MTN just for you. This is a special offer just for you, lovely people of Asante Man. Osekrum, Ashanti Fest Ayed de Brutal. Come, let's have fun and stay connected everywhere you go.
David, good morning. Another interesting program. David, parents that actually receive gifts or big monies or things from their children, most of these parents are just irresponsible and lazy, and sometimes some of them think that once you bring the child to this world, you need to use that child for trading, or that child have to be your financial benefit or income. And that is why some of them are doing this. David, I know a parent whose child, a son, was an armed robber, and you see that anytime the child had a problem in the police station, that man will go and build that armed robber. Through that the child will even build them a house and help the family also in so many ways to be rich. Now that child is dead. He died through the armed robbery. So it is out of irresponsible and laziness that will let a parent actually do what you have to do.
I hear you well. Thanks very much. That was a voice message that came through. What is your preferred color of tank? Syntex has it. Well, what guarantee do you want? Well, Syntex has it. What kind of inner layer do you want? Is it double, triple, quadruple? Well, as many inner layers as you want, Syntex has it too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex tank, you're strong, you're tough. Now, they have over 300 agents nationwide. And to order a tank, all you need to do is to call 0244 335 168. Visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana, or you can shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, you're strong, you're tough. Well, we'll be bringing to you the Super Morning Show conversation shortly. It has to do with adolescent mental health. So that's what this conversation is going to be on, adolescent mental health. It comes up your way shortly. More, Charlie, people are winning big on 590 mobile just by dialing *959#. Selecting the game of the day, be it Monday special all the way to Sunday Asida. But they be like say, boys don't know the rundown. Make I tell you. See, since you play via Momo, your winnings are also paid via Momo, same day. And this kind of excites, the boys, and so they talk too much. See, make I tell you something. That your girlfriend you won't tell say you win 590 mobile. Just imagine all the type of hair, clothes and bags she go buy just to sweep your account empty. Also, imagine your mother gets to know she will give half your winnings to the church harvest, and not even speak of your boys like Leo Stanley. All the booze for that day will be on you. You have to pay it. So, Charlie, you for no say money changes people. So keep your winnings on a hush. Always remember to stick responsibly. It's not for persons below the age of 18 years. 590 mobile at that 17. Let's talk about Zest Consult, shall we? Now, have you been searching for the best place for your IELTS, that's IELTS, or the SAT and the GRE tuition to make your study, scholarship and job acquisition abroad come true? Well, look no further. Zest Consult is the best place I know of, and that's why I'm recommending it to you. It is the number one place for you. Zest Consult has taught over 5,000 individuals to pass the IELTS, SAT, and GRE. Again, listen. Over 3,000 nurses, midwives, and other workers have passed their IELTS, that is through Zest Consult, to work in the UK and the USA. Some have also used the IELTS to also apply for schools outside the country. A number of students have also acquired scholarships through Zest Consult to study abroad for their undergraduate and postgraduate programs through the SAT and GRE tuition. Now, they can help you study in the UK and, of course, the United States of America, Germany, Australia, China, and so many other places with scholarship. Zest Consult is also into real estate services. They assist in the selling or buying of buildings and litigation freelance. Locate Zest Consult at Kumasi Cultural Center or at Dichamso near the airport roundabout. Call Zest Consult on 0555 631 633. Again, 0555 631 633 or 059 9092 Zest Consult. Excellence is our hallmark. Well, we have some messages for you, and in a bit we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7 for that conversation on adolescent mental health. Please stay tuned.
Osai yeah, boo! Roverman Productions in partnership with Love FM and Ebony Condoms present The Secret Code of Wives, an original play by Uncle Abel White.
And if really you want a divorce, I will give it to you. But on 3 conditions. Condition number 1, you will divorce me the same way you married me. We had a whole ceremony for our wedding, and we are going to have a whole ceremony for the divorce on the same scale as the wedding, with music, preaching, caterers, photographers, and in church.
You are crazy. Who ever heard of a divorce ceremony in church?
Well, if you do not meet my conditions, I shall make this divorce your worst nightmare in court. And we are both lawyers. You know what I'm capable of doing in court.
The Secret Code of Wives shows on the 29th and 30th of July at the CCB Auditorium, KNUST. There will be 2 shows each day, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Early bird tickets are selling at a promo price of 80 Ghana cedis. Promo ends on 23rd July and ticket prices will go to 100 Ghana cedis. Buy your early bird tickets at the following outlets: Love FM, Boku Trading, Kingdom Books KNUST, Continental Supermarket, and via short code *365 *535#. Sponsors, Ebony Con Riverman Productions. Be the difference.
Why risk having your visa denied when you have Excel Plus education? Do you have an offer to study in the UK, Canada, USA, or Australia this September? Do you require professional guidance on how to submit your visa application? For a free support on all aspects of your visa and student application, get in touch with Excel Plus Education right away. Call or WhatsApp us for no cost at all on 0243 334894 or 0246 725909. Excel Plus Education, putting you in charge.
Men are going to be drunk with the spirit of prayer. They will pray non-stop. The coals of revival will burn in their heart. Unquenchable burden and hunger, driving them consistently to the place of prayer.
Glory Fields Incorporated presents Wind of Revival. Acts chapter 2, verse 2. Suddenly, a sound like a mighty rushing wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. Come and witness the ministrations of Apostle Edu Udechuku from Nigeria and Dr. Justice Avevo on Sunday, 23rd July at 4:30 p.m. and Monday, 24th July at 5:30 p.m. Song ministration, Sandra Kakra Boachidria and Glory Fields Music. Host Pastor Kofi Cry. Happening at the Glory Fields Auditorium located at Suswanechi Old Station off Tech Road, Suswanso, few meters from Super MC Restaurant. Also, there will be an all-night service on Friday, 28th July at 9 p.m. with Prophet Castro Mensa at the church premises. Call 0508-909-314 for further information. Wind of Revival. Come and experience the Holy Spirit at work.
Joins us over the phone. To you.
Okay. I think we've lost it.
Okay, we'll reconnect with Professor Osafo shortly. But in the studio, Dr. Collins Beduajiman is a senior lecturer at the Department of Psychology, University of Ghana. Doctor, what a pleasure to have you on the show.
Nice meeting you, Kajo. It's been a while.
It has, hasn't it?
Yes, we always speak.
Yes, and it's great having you. He met his mate Samuel Odami here.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry? I met my mate Samuel Odami.
Yes, so that's just by the way, because Doc has just shared a research with me that indicates that nearly 3 in 10 junior high school students in Ghana report attempting suicide. That's about 30%. And also 20% of senior high school students report attempting to commit suicide or attempting suicide. Wow. And for me, that's instructive. We've been talking about how, for instance, 11.3% have indicated that, of adolescents have indicated that, look, their experiences with bullying and maltreatment contributed to their contemplating suicide. So we'll start, first of all, by looking at how violence affects the mental health of adolescents before we narrow in on suicide. So let's start off with you, Dr. Beduajiman.
Thank you very much, Winston. I must say, when we talk of mental health, usually we are a bit skeptical. But all of us here, Mama V is here, Kojo is here, you are here. We all have mental health. Every single individual have mental health. And mental health is not a state. It can improve. We can invest in our mental health so it becomes good, increase to becoming better. And if we don't, life-related events, wrong decisions, challenges of life can also deteriorate our mental health. So we want to understand that mental health, as we mention it, we all have it.
Okay.
We can improve it. We can invest in it.
Hold on 1 minute for me. I'll get back to you shortly so we continue the conversation. But let me get to Professor Joseph Osafo, who is head of the Department of Psychology at the University of Ghana. And we're privileged to have him because he's actually in a meeting and he stepped out so he can speak to us this morning. Yes, because he says this is a very important issue. And so, Prof, good morning once again, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Good
Great. So, Prof, let's look at how violence, maltreatment, and bullying affect the mental health of adolescents?
So basically, your mental health is a sum total of a certain level of equanimity and calibration in the way you feel, in the way you work, in the way you relate, in the way you talk, and all of those. So that is what we talk when we are referred to mental health. And adolescence is the most turbulent stage in the person's developmental trajectory. If you are able to navigate that stage successfully, I can bet you're almost on your way to win life. Because that's the stage where the growth spurt is. You're trying to understand the world, you're trying to relate with others, you're trying to find your own space, in terms of relating with people. And a lot of young people would want to, create a relevant space within which they are found to be also relevant in their communities and the spaces where their friends relate with them. Now, research clearly shows that when young people don't have, for example, very good relationship with their parents, it even affects the neural connections in their brain. In fact, some studies are indicating that when young people are exposed to watching violent movies or they are engaging in competitive, games, maybe these video games where they are all the time competing. So they are almost all the time, it structures their brain at the structural level. And they are almost all the time thinking that they are competing with others. And so these days, some neuroscientists and neurocognitive scientists will tell you it's not even good for you to expose a child to very competitive, highly competitive situation because of the structural integrity that is affected when it comes to their neural function. I'm talking about brain nerves and the way they function. And so young people who are engaged in very competitive, gaming and violent, experiences, and all the time trying to make sure that they find a space, are likely to have their mental health compromised. I'm talking about the way they calibrate their thoughts, their perceptions, their feelings in terms of relating with others. Beyond that, this is also a period where, because you're trying to find your own space, sometimes you will end up fighting your own parents or what we call significant others in your life. Yeah. Parents, guardians, teachers, because you want to feel like this is me. I want to be me. This is like a child who wants to become an adolescent. An adult, and you want to shape him. You want to make sure you correct him, and yet he or she feels no, the world is for me. So some of them have problems with their parents. And usually when adolescents have problem with their parents, some of them because they are unable to vent out their displeasures, on their parents, or vent their spleen on their parents, they'll be looking for very fragile, unthreatening targets, like their own colleagues, and hit them, So they call it acting out behaviors. Okay. Get angry at them, displacing their anger, on non-threatening targets. And that's where sometimes you can find these abuses and victimizations and bullying in schools. So that is it. Beyond that, we have young people these days who are taking a lot of drugs. And you know what we are dealing with in Ghana. Young people are on drugs. They are vaping in schools. Some schools are doing their best to control this. But recently, I was checking a report. There are over 1,000 new substances that are in the black market. And young people have access to these mixtures of all kinds of substances. And they inhale them. When they inhale them, their cognitive integrity is compromised. They are likely, to misperceive